Hello and welcome back to Gnoll Way Home. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is a while ago. I believe they finally reached the village where you have like all the Gnolls, and the big one, whose name unfortunately I already forgot, which is the main character, had to speak to the village chief and some other people, important people, and basically had to promise that they were gonna get, I believe his name is Nash, who originally, but used to be in the body, their original Gnoll, that he's gonna get them back. But then they were also like, yeah, so you're gonna get them back, but we're also gonna keep you, so we're not gonna just throw you away, so you can be fine. And they're going to go to the capital or something, I think. And they're using like this Gnoll that's kind of like a hybrid, I think, because he kind of looks like a snake or a reptile. And he is related to Stinky, the big Gnoll. That's pretty much all I remember, basically. It was a long time ago since there was an update, so yeah. What else? Did something else happen? I mean, they had soup, and the soup is apparently made like in the same area where they bathe. I mean, Gnolls can literally eat anything, so yeah. Anyways, what else? I think that's pretty much everything that happened. Everything that is important that happened. So yeah. Yeah, so I guess without further ado, let us continue Gnoll Way Home. Chapter 3. The Branches That We Fall From. I didn't think getting exercise would require so much exercise. Scar has us march out at the crack of dawn, naturally foregoing any long drawn-out farewells by virtue of everyone wanting to immediately go right back to sleep after. The pace that he sets for us is grueling compared to the brisk afternoon stroll that we took with Opa on the way here. Tav's little legs have to put in twice the effort to keep up, but he seems determined. Meanwhile, I'm back here with a belly full of soup and regret. Stinky finds opportunity to misread my discomfort with anxiety about the path before us, and decides to soothe me with spooky stories about the Wombwood. So, there was this bandit fella, right? Big bad wolf. Huge. Is that relevant? Always. Anyway, he's on the run from the Imperial Militia. Probably did some very cool crimes. And he's the last of his crew. Rest all got wiped out. But they had a stash full of stolen treasure in the woods, you see? And it was more than enough to run away and live comfortably on if you ain't gotta split it. So he figures that he'll go dig it up and go retire out in the countryside. Put all the bandit business behind him. Dumbass didn't realize the Wombwood had expanded into them woods. It does that? Yep. Place grows like mold on bread. Except more purpler. So anyways, he heads out into the forest, but he didn't realize nothing's wrong until he wakes up to find his clothes crawling on his back. All his leathers got infested with womb rot. They started turning purple and slimy and crawling around on him with 1,000 prickly little legs. Now, he's heard stories of the Wombwood, of course. Everybody has, so he knows what kind of shit that he's stepped in here. But he can live without his clothes. He can buy the finest silks and shit once he gets his hands on that treasure. So he ditches his duds and keeps going. But he starts getting lost. The forest ain't laid out the way that it's supposed to be. Next day he wakes up choking on his own fangs. Couple of them just fell right out while he was sleeping. But he figures, what the hell, it's only a couple of teeth, right? With all the treasure that he can buy new teeth, maybe even some gold ones. So he keeps going. Next day he starts hearing the voices of long-lost loved ones telling him to turn back. But he's stubborn. He don't listen to them. After a while, he can't hear them no more cause his ears fall off. But that's okay, he figures. The siren song of that treasure is all he needs to hear. Next day he thinks he's getting real close. But throughout the day, his fingers and toes start falling off and skittering away, one by one. But that's okay, he figures. He'll be able to afford servants to wait on him hand and foot. By the time that he finally reaches the stash, ain't too much left of him. Probably pretty slow rolling when you're crawling through the forest on your belly and mushy stubs. But that's okay, he figures. The treasure's all that matters. So he slumps himself up into the tree hollow that the crew hidden the treasure in. And it ain't till he finally is there that he realizes that he can't dig it up anymore, much less haul it out of here. And he can't even cry about it none, cause he ain't got no mouth anymore, neither. So the forest claims in with one final scream like it does everyone who sets foot in there. How does he scream if he has no mouth? Whoa, good question. Well, thanks for sharing, I guess. He keeps going, one story after the other, and they only escalate from there. Unsurprisingly, they all share a theme: bad things happening in the woods. It seems that people who go into the Wombwood come out changed. Or not at all. Tav corrects him on the details now and then, but most of those addendums just serve to make the outcomes even more horrific. At the conclusion of a particularly grisly tale, I cannot but ask the obvious. None of that stuff can happen to Gnolls, right? We're immune. As long as you aren't born there. Whatever protection we have doesn't seem to kick in until after we're born. That's why Deathroot works. The stuff that we were peeling off of Nika? Keep an eye out for that while we're there. That and dire fennel. Feed either of those to an Imperial and they'll croak in seconds. But we use it for cooking? Stinky wraps an arm around me, tugging me in close and waggling his eyebrows so suggestively that I hear that they might escape his face. Oh yeah, we're gonna cook all right. Knock off the grab ass back there. And make sure you get those tracks covered. Don't want us tailed. Stinky sighs and makes a sweeping gesture as he brings up the rear, the dirt and mud behind us moving to flatten out and erase our trail. Hope you got all that chatter out of your systems. We're about to head into hostile territory and that kind of yapping is gonna get us snapped up like falling into a snapdragon nest? Yeah, sure. Everything looks the same in here, but the smell. I can smell that same river that we passed by a few days ago that made a sort of natural boundary on the outskirts of the Wombwood. Between the fresh, green smell on this side and the scary purple on the other. We pause our trek on this side of the river, snagging some more of those delicious fruits while Scar drills us on danger signals for the 5th time today. He relays brief one-syllable shouts and accompanying hand gestures for the 3 major dangers we're most likely to encounter here. The way that we have one signal for when we can't see each other and one for when we need to be quiet. Snap. A gesture resembling a snapping maw, a snapdragon nest. Watch your feet for the bitey little buggers. Trog. Fingers crossed. Troglodytes. Hold your breath or their stench is likely to make you pass out. Brood. Fingers extended in groups of 2 with a white gap in the middle. Brood witches. Drop everything and run. They are by far the most dangerous thing in the whole damn place. Like Nika? They wish they were half that scary, but they make up for it with numbers. She was actually being groomed for a leadership position in their coven. I take it that they can do some nasty magic? Super nasty. Seems to be the way of witches. Scar sighs, taking a look back into the forest depths. Now in my experience, most witches are just women who had the good sense to cut ties with the Empire and go do their own thing out in the woods. Sometimes with other women they fancied, or a whole bunch of cats. But the brood witches, they're a different sort. They got fed up with the ways of the warlords and decided to make their own little slice of hell in the Wombwood. With the brood mother's domain at its strongest in the abyssal bowels of the forest, they breed all manner of abominations down there. And if the brood Mother ain't seen fit to bless ya. Well then, they're worth less than shit to them. That's why Nika left, ain't it? On account of she can't. Enough of that. What's past is past. At least let him finish. Nah, it's okay. Well, after we're through here, it'll be smooth sailing through the Empire, right? Hardly. The Empire ain't a good place to be a Gnoll, especially if you ain't got papers. We're not well regarded there, but it's a place where enough coin can buy forgiveness for any crime. Even being born wrong. I heard some of the old warlords did that, right? Yeah, the last few holdouts against the Crusade traded away their lands and people to get on the Emperor's good side. His pet noble savages, the good ones, necessary exceptions to prove the rule. So it's the kind of place where coin rules everything? Yup, and the rich ain't too keen to share. Wealth only trickles down when the wealthy are bled. You used to be good at that. I used to be a lot of things. Yeah. Tav forges on past ahead of us, making his way to the violent side of the river. He seems so certain about where he's going. I'd be so lost without him, all of them really. How can they all leave the comfort of home so readily? How did I convince them to trek halfway across the world for something that might not even work? I already miss soup. Our expedition comes to a pause in one of the greener thickets on the side of the river, revealing a decrepit set of ruins long since lost to the forest's embrace. Tav looks shocked to see it. Not this shit again. Look, we have to engage on its terms. What is it? Oh, them's broodmother markings, ain't they? Tav snatches a journal back from me to consult. Things that get lost in here should stay lost. They're better off forgotten. It chose to appear before us, so we should use this opportunity, here. He recounts an entry about the Vanishing Stones, a shrine to Broodmother that appears before travelers of the Wombwood. Apparently, its appearance is regarded as either an auspicious omen or a portent of grisly fate. Either way, big deal. It can provide safe passage through the forest if you pay proper respects, or ensure our doom if we don't. So how do we use it, respectfully? We beseech its wisdom and abide by its response. We need bones, for augury, weal or woe. The little Gnoll frets about his unpreparedness. But with a beleaguered growl, Scar ends up being the one to produce a pair of bones to roll. They're supposed to be a gift for the big guy. Aww. So don't leave him here as an offering or nothing. Bring him back when you're done. Are you gonna leave me out of it? He marches off sullenly, refusing to engage with the mysticism of the place. Yeah, he doesn't seem like the pious type. I guess you could say he's, agnostic? Laugh. Okay, we can make work with this. Just whisper a question to the bones and then roll them on the dice. Despite Tav's excitement to take advantage of this opportunity, he seemed paralyzed with uncertainty on what exactly to ask. Just the one question? One each, no discussion before or after. To do otherwise would test the stone's patience. Sounds like the kind of thing to get smited for. Smote? Stinky plucks a die from the indecisive little Gnoll and makes the first roll. He doesn't spend any time at all to ponder his question, snickering to himself and whispering a sultry inquiry to the dice before rolling. Judging from his expression and the brief outcome-altering tremors that passed through the ground, I don't think that he got the answer that he wanted. He shrugs and tosses the die back to Tav, seeming over it. Tav trembles a bit as he looks down at the die he clutches, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath before whispering away. Please. I can't bear to watch. I know what he's asking for. He's beseeching the divine for one thing that he loves most. The gods have done nothing but take from him. Does he really think that they'll reverse that trend in exchange for a little piety? Stinky pries my arm from it in front of my face to hand over a die when it's my turn. Where did he... Stinky motions back along the trail. I guess I'd better hurry and roll before the leash drags me away. Will we be okay? The die is cast. I watch with bated breath as it tumbles across the dice. It comes to a rest, but not as it should. It lays perilously in the embrace of a crack in the stonework, its results uncertain. But it's mostly Will's side up, I think. My uncertainty spikes as I gather up the dice. Am I just overthinking this? Is any of it even real? Is that thought alone enough to draw a divine ear? The sudden tug of my collar does wonders to distract me. It's the problem with a clear solution. That's nice. When last night falls upon us, we make camp for the evening. Though with how light we're traveling, it's a bit of a stretch to even call it a camp. Still, there is enough firelight to let Tav make some additions to the journal. The brilliant, violent hues that dance across the skyline after the sun goes down cast him in an ethereal glow that really captivates my gaze. Maybe I just like purple. It's a pretty color. Tav catches me staring, and I point at those cavorting colors up in space. A soft smile creeps across his face as he stops to take them in. This place can actually be kind of beautiful sometimes. Yeah, if you ignore the everything else. Stinky plops down and thumbs through the journal while we're distracted. Man, there's a whole lot of stuff in here. You read it all? Only if as it comes relevant. What's this part in the back without any pictures? Oh, it's nothing. Just a story. I know some of these words. Taff snatches the journal back with a lightning speed. Look, if I'm going through all the effort to write this, I get to be a little indulgent, okay? Enough yammering. Get some damn shut-eye already. I'll be on first watch. Kid, you got second. Despite those gruff orders, Stinky looks proud to be entrusted with such a worthy task. What's got him so cranky lately? Maybe it's on account of all the brood witches holding spooky ghost club out in the woods. He was never like this back when he was training me and Gash for courier duty. I mean, he was always hard on us, sure. Even managed to scare Gash into obedience. I feel that in my bones. But he wasn't this bad. He was just really focused, mission-oriented. But right when we're getting the hang of things, he disappeared on us. Do you think it's 'cause I'm here? Has he always been like this around you? Nah, he was great back when I was growing up. Of course, I didn't get to see him all that often. Said the type of work that he did was too dangerous to be lugging a kid around. So I tagged along with Opa instead, while he did the whole traveling healer act. So he ran out on you too. Nah. Well, I mean, I still get to see him on my name day every year. He'd always come around with a big bloody sack full of coins for Opa, and plenty stories for me. Was my favorite time of the year. Of course. I guess he bounced pretty early after I popped out, left behind 2 names for me to pick from. And one of them was Stinky. Ha, nah, came up with that one on my own. Sort of a placeholder, I guess. I tossed out the girl name right away, but I don't really feel like I've earned the boy one yet. You don't really need to earn being a boy. Yeah, but I ain't really a man yet. I need a proper conquest for that. gotta wrestle a dragon or punch God or something. You really don't. I mean, compared to everything Scar's done, I really am just a kid. I always used to start a real ruckus when we saw his bounty posters up in whatever village we were rolling through back then. I'd jump up and down and shout, "That's my daddy!" till we started getting run out of town for it. But seeing him again now, I thought things would be different now that I'm grown. I just wish that I could do something to make him proud, you know? You don't owe him anything. Well, I at least gotta make me proud of me, right? And if he's there to see it, then that's a bonus. Can't convince him I'm a proper man till I feel that way myself. And you don't feel that way already? You sure seem more than man enough to me. Well, that's sweet of you. And flattery will get you flattened. But all I really got going for me is my Vulcan. I mean, from what I've seen, you're also pretty good with people. And kind to them. Yeah, well, anybody can do that. But not everybody does. That's already impressive if you ask me. Well, butter me up some more, why don't you? But that kind of thing don't get campfire stories written about ya. Taft snaps the journal shut and blows out the fire. We should get some sleep. You idiot. Did you really think that they meant you? Poor thing. It thinks it's people. The looks on their faces when a Gnoll showed up for their little book club. Oh, they'll be talking about that one for years. You don't belong here. You're too slow, too stupid. They were just waiting for you to fall. Go back to the garbage heap you found that book in. Back to the trash-strewn alley their flyer blew into. Back where you belong. At least here, you have him. The scent calms you. He left out a plate of cheese, or toy maker. The jolly god doesn't seem to come around too often for homeless little wastrels like you two. But this year, this will have to do. A sackcloth mockery of a Gnoll, the best your big dumb paws could stitch together. You scarf down the rotten bits of gutter salvage cheese and leave the toy in its place, a handwritten note tucked beneath it. It's easier to be brave when you have someone else to protect. What shallow drivel, the best you could come up with after so long. He deserves better, but all he has is you. You curl up with him as he dreams of what Toymaker will bring. You already have what you want most in this world. You pray to the gods that the two of you will never part. The wilted birdsong of the wombwood tears me from that dream. The gentle warmth of Taft curled up in my arms feels so right. It breaks my heart to gently peel free of him, especially with those tears staining his cheeks. This has become somewhat of a routine in the days since we left Shattertusk, a little peek into Gash's life, a cold reminder as reality sets in, a full bladder demanding to be unleashed. How many more mornings remain? How long do I get to stay with them? And how is it that I march so calmly towards our inevitable parting? I remind myself to focus on problems that have immediate, actionable solutions. Like full bladders. I catch Stinky at the stagnant pond near our campsite, using its reflection for a bit of a shave as his watch shift wraps up. I didn't take you for the grooming type. Oh, well, I gotta keep on top of it, or it gets all poofy. Now that he mentions it, I did notice a few Gnoll women back in town that had really fluffy neck and manes. It looks so soft on them. Is that what he looks like when he lets it go? Wait, that's not Nika's knife, is it? Ha! As if she let anybody take Flesh Carver. That thing's bloodthirsty. Might be handy if we run into trouble. We don't need a knife for that when you got my Vulcan. Is that good in a fight? Probably. Never tried before? These guys always settle things first. He smirks and flexes for me. But brood witches respect Vulkars, enough not to mess with us. And Imperials, they run scared at any Vulkar that ain't on our leash. His deep belly laugh is interrupted by a deep belly grumble. Mine answers it in agreement. I curse myself for exhausting our bonus fruit supply days ago. So we really can't eat anything here. I mean, we can, but Scar says the plants this deep tend to bite back. A Gnoll's gut spell dooms for even the craftiest of parasite. But the line between plant and critter is starting to get real blurry this far in. Never know which tree's got eyes. Keep it together. So it's dirt for dinner till we hit the other side. I'm starting to hate dirt. I can make it mud if you prefer. That's not better. Wrap it up. We move in 5. Too damn cold to be sitting around doing nothing. Stinky snickers as the older Gnoll stomps back towards camp. He never could handle the cold. That's how him and Opa met, you know. I dug him out of the blizzard and had to warm him up with his body to keep him from freezing to death. Is he cold-blooded? Oh. You should probably know that. Things get lost in this forest, forgotten. The last dregs of a people nearly extinguished by bastards in shining armor. The smell reaches us long before we find her. A Gnoll, dead for months by the smell of it. Her body is overgrown with the forest's rot. I suppose our protection doesn't keep going after we die. Tav kneels down to examine her piercings. Dawnbringer, find some dry brush and we'll start a fire. Are we really going to burn her? Someone has to, otherwise she won't go to her destined domain. So she gets stuck here? Worse, she'll go to hell. That thought haunts me as I scour the surroundings for tinder. Eternal damnation and suffering through no fault of your own? Sounds all too familiar. What a cosmic joke. The brush that I bring back fails to ignite. It's too wet. Are you doing this wrong on purpose? As a joke? No, I'm doing it wrong on accident. As an idiot. Don't call yourself that. If you want a job done right. Scar takes matters into his own hands and gets the fire started surprisingly quickly. Come on then. You kids don't need to smell a Gnoll burn. That scent ain't easy to forget. Silence falls as we walk upwind of the impromptu funeral site. My need to clear the air bludgeons my anxiety into submission. Did you fight in the war with Wrath? Ugh, hell no. Fighting a war on their terms is what dipshits do. If you're playing by someone else's rules, they're already won. Wrath was a hero. Heroes are the first ones to die. They hold the line. I did my fighting behind enemy lines. Like dirty work? As dirty as it gets. He forges on ahead, making it clear that he's done with that line of inquiry. Despite everything, the smell of smoke still manages to cling to my fur. It's not the only thing. Eventually, we manage to find a spring that seems a bit safer than the surrounding environs, a lot less purple too. It's the first chance that we've had to actually bathe since we left. This sensitive nose gives me a new appreciation for that. Like, I can always smell Stinky and Tav when they're near, but after sweating through this humid jungle for so long, it's getting distracting. Stinky especially. Scar snarls at seeing his own reflection in the spring and turns to leave once Stinky cannonballs in. Tav sneers at him as he departs. I guess he prefers to bathe alone? Stinky bobs up from beneath the surface to concur. Yeah, ain't exactly the communal bathing type. Can't imagine why. Says he doesn't gotta anyway on account of this ring. The ring? Is that why I can't smell him? Yep, Opa made it for him back when they first got together. Ain't never seen him without it. Or smelled him without it, for that matter. That feels a bit, lonely. The way you guys smell feels important. Yeah, but I guess it's better for sneaking around. As Stinky sets in for a nice, luxurious soak, I realize no amount of water will fix him. He's just like that. If anything, the water gets him instead. Once Tav settles in, I notice him eyeing some flowers growing along the pond's edge. Want me to dig those up? No, I don't need them anymore. Besides, we shouldn't be disturbing plants this far in. Oh yeah, they might be brood witch spies. Okay, yes, it's paranoid, but that's the kind of weird this place runs on. I smirk down at him, and he crumbles a bit beneath my gaze. Turn around. Why? So I can wash your back. Gash can't reach, and I don't think demons come double-jointed. Fair. Don't want Gash coming back to moss growing on him. Or barnacles. Do they have barnacles here? Probably. A shiver runs down my spine as Tav combs his claws through my fur. This feels nice, tender, familiar. You boys want some alone time? What? Oh shit, I'm at full mast. Tav peeks around after Stinky comments and quickly realizes how my body is reacting to his touch. You, can take it from here. Stinky laughs hard enough to send ripples through the entire pond as Tav dashes off to go get dressed. Ugh. Aw, come on, big guy. Happens all the time with boys your age. Oh, great. I should probably go before my collar drags me out. Bummer. The cold nips at me only briefly before I shake off most of the water clinging to my fur. I can already smell the wet gnoll scent setting in on my way back to the tree that we'd hung our clothes on. But when I reach it, the air grows thick. The wind cackles. The purple creeps down from above. The tree begins to twist and bend, its branches audibly snapping as they contort and fold in on themselves. The knothole in its center yawns open with unsettling ferocity as our clothes begin to tumble down into it. It's eating them. I have to. Do it. Give them back. A strength beyond my ken surges through me as my body leaps forward. I grip the tree's hole and force it open while tugging at the garments it's devouring. The bark is disgustingly slick and pliable in my paws. Help! Within seconds, the others rush over. Scar shoulder checks the tree, and it wails in agony. This seems to break its grip on the clothes, but that just sends me tumbling backwards to bowl over Tav. Get off of me! He huffs and storms off, blushing just as brightly as before. Thanks for the rescue, bud. Really gonna need those when we hit the Empire lands. Yeah. Looking down over my own hard-won garments, I can see the touch of the forest has already started to creep in. Even in this place that seemed so safe just moments ago. I'd hate to see what it does to people who don't share our immunity. I don't like it here. The trees keep petting me. The canopy route Scar has us taking means that we pass over the worst of the Wombwood. Way over. The trees grow so tall here that I can't even guess how high up we are. The Wombwood really does buckle inwards like a yawning chasm the further that we go. I shudder to imagine the horrors that cavort in the dark so far beneath us. But up here, upon branches, the corruption feels more distant. There's barely even any purple. Air sure is fresh up here. So fresh. Scar glowers at him. Come on, we want to reach the other side before sundown. I can't imagine camping up here is a good idea. Stinky seems intent on filling the dead air with whatever comes to mind. Jokes, stories, song. Pipe down, kid. We're still in Broodwitch territory. Stinky makes an exaggerated lip zipping motion, but keeps humming. I notice that he's shaking a bit. Well, quite a lot actually. You doing okay, bud? Great. I've just, never been so far from the ground before. Oh, yeah. Heights can be scary. I mean, cliffs are one thing, but, I can't feel the earth at all up here. It's like my feet have blindfolds on. Just lean on me. You'll be okay. Man, I feel useless right now. Haha. You're not. I mean, I can't even invoke up here. Guess I'm just me now. We'll be back down before you know it. Yeah, you're right. Hey, don't worry about me. I can handle this. I just need to man up and tough it out. We'll handle it together. Scar ends up pushing his way past Tav. Taking point. You take 5. I don't need 5. Look, the path gets tricky up ahead. Needs a keen eye. I know. We've taken this path more times than you have by now. Scar fails to respond. Tav growls. A storm is brewing. I can feel it in my gut. Nausea begins to bubble up. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Only got one eye, kid, and it ain't for looking behind me. You know, you're a real piece of work, Scar. Tension hangs in the air as the storm surges. Scar maintains his silence. I'm starting to feel dizzy. Nothing to say, huh? It's like you're not even there. No response, but Tav just can't stop picking at the wound. Oh, sorry. Being a deadbeat dad must be so awkward for you. Tav? Look, Stinky's way too nice to tell you, but you're a terrible father. Lightning strikes. My ears are ringing. Holy shit, Tav. And yet, he still looks up to you. God knows why. Well, there's a problem right there. He can be anything that he wants, and it's my footsteps that he's trying to follow. Kid should be reaching for the stars, not rolling in the dirt. You don't fucking get it, do you? Anything is better than someone who isn't there. Do you have any idea what it's like? Growing up not knowing where your parents are? Wondering every day if they're even still alive? Wishing that someday they might come to save you? And you choose to inflict that on him? Look here, you little shit. I busted my ass every day to provide for them. Do you really think a wanted man could keep them safe? They were better off without me already. The best thing that I could do for them was gone. Oh, I know where we are. He falls. After a thump and the scratching of claws against bark, he plummets away into the dark expanse below. That's all that it takes, though, to alert them. All at once, dozens of unruly vines unfold from around the branch that we tread upon, lashing out and nipping at our heels. One wraps around my foot. The world turns upside down. I fall. Oh, snapdragons are kinda cute. I'm an idiot. They were just waiting for you to fall. Time stands still. My body falls to the damp. The bitter chill overtakes me, but then grows warm. Pressure around my limbs, around my throat. A dragging. The smell of strange, intoxicating aromas. Soft muttering, laughing. So, it turns out demons have very normal wieners. Who'd have thought? My eyes shoot open. I try to push myself up, but my body won't move. Whoa, shit, he's alive. You good, bud? After a fall like that, I doubt he could even move. Yeah, about that. I feel two pairs of paws dragging me back to prop up against a rough stone. One of them feels absurdly large. We appear to be in some kind of cave, filled with all manner of glowing fungal growths. Stinky stands before me, wiping his brow in relief or from exertion. It's hard to tell. At his side is a green-haired gnoll that I've never seen before. He smells spicy, herbal, a cavalcade of exotic plants with one in particular standing out above the others to tie them all together. Cilantro. How you feeling? Alive? That's a great place to start. All uphill from here. Where are we? The Woundwood. We fell straight to the bottom. We should be meat moss right now. It's a miracle you fell right into that mud bog. I didn't even know that it was there. Hey, where's Tav? Neither of them has an immediate answer for me. Probably looking for us right now. I'm sure that they'll find us soon. I bet that they're probably burying the hatchet and they'll be the best of friends by the time that they get here. Please tell me that you didn't jump on purpose to give them some alone time. Damn, that's actually a good idea. We could move him to the village if we had a stretcher, but... There's a village down here? Brood witches? Ah, no. Thank the mother. They leave us alone nowadays since the curse took root. Curse? Don't worry, it's not contagious. It's just... you're probably better off not seeing what's left of them. This does not instill confidence. The faint sound of distant weeping sweeps through the forest before echoing into the alcove that we're hidden away in. I should get going. They get a bit distressed when I'm gone too long. You should be safe here for tonight. Most creatures avoid this place. The mushrooms are as deadly as they are beautiful. Are they tasty? A bit like glass. I'll take glass over dirt. I'm so sick of dirt. Anyway, I'll grow some vines tonight and get a stretcher woven up by morning. Oh, you got a little... Cilantro notices the tiny sprout emerging from beneath his bandages and swiftly nips it in the bud. Thinks, they don't need to see that. And with that, he departs, leaving the two of us alone in this weird glowing cave. I, kinda expected everyone to be hostile down here. Oh nah, Cilantro's good folk. Ain't never met his kin though. Think he's the last weep wallow still up and moving. I take it the curse is pretty bad. Yeah, he doesn't like to talk about it. But I'm an expert at prying. I believe you. Some kind of dispute between them at the brood witches ended up calling down a broodmother's wrath on their whole bloodline. Or maybe Earth Mother? Ain't sure. One of them mommy gods. Makes them prone to getting real sad. And the sadder that they get, the more they start turning into freaky tree people. Seriously? Like they're melting into the forest itself. And that's just getting them sadder, so it's a messy spiral. Cilantro does his best to feed and care for him, but it's a losing battle. Isn't there something that we can do to help them? He says he's tried everything, and he's way smarter than me. Even Opa took a look and said that all he could do was make him comfortable. That's a lot. Nah, there ain't much left of them at this point, sounds like. Hoping he'll come and settle in Shattertusk once they're gone. Could use a few green thumbs like his to liven up the place. If we ever make it back there. Buck up. We'll figure something out. That's the nice thing about hitting rock bottom. It's all uphill once you bounce back from it. That's... sure. But for now, we should probably get some rest. You're fucking heavy. Thanks. Welcome. Being stuck like this feels appropriate. I'm utterly useless. I can't do anything. I'm in my element. It's a feeling that fits me like a glove, like I've been wearing it my whole life. If only I could be different, better. Do you ever wish that you were somebody else? Nah, I'm pretty great. I love me. Took some time to get there, but I think that I got life pretty much figured out now. That's so, huh? How'd you end up all enlightened? He takes a deep breath, pausing to consider for far longer than I think that I've ever seen from him before. Usually his thoughts seem to leave his maw without even checking in with his brain first. I actually used to be a real down on myself. But once we settled down in Shattertusk, it really opened my eyes. There, people can be who they want to be, whether that's a man or a woman or whatever Wrath is. Yeah, I'm unclear on that. And man, Wrath, he got me thinking, you know? Maybe I can be a bit of both. Pick what I like from each side. Before I met him, I figured that I had to look a certain way for folks to take me seriously. For a while there, I even wrapped up the boys here till they got too big for it. You should have seen me in that dumbass poncho that I used to wear to cover up. Honestly, can't imagine you being self-conscious. Well, since I got you holed up here, story time I guess. I am the most captive audience possible. Back when I was growing up, me and Opa did the rounds on the outskirts of the Empire, the whole traveling healer bit I told you about. Weren't too bad at first, got to see lots of different places, lots of different people. But folks started treating me real different when I started getting older. Real judgmental shit, ladylike behavior they expected me to stick to. They started listening to me less, and looking at me more, and not in a good way. Yeah. Really pissed me off how women were supposed to live over there. Made up my mind real quick that I wouldn't end up like that. So ever since, I went out of my way to show everyone that I ain't no lady. Yeah, abundantly clear. Back in the Empire, they said that I had demons making me say that stuff. Made me wonder if we all got demons in us. But nowadays, I'm realizing I do like taking care of folks and spending time with the little ones back at the village. And back in the Empire, they'd call that woman's work. Yup, over there it was pretty cut and dry. You're either one or the other, and you don't get to pick, and it determines your whole life. But out here, we all get to decide who we are and how we want to live. Way better. Yeah, and raising kids or taking care of people or hell even wearing a dress doesn't determine who you are. Wait, what was that last one? Don't ever worry about it. You know, for a demon, you make a pretty good listener. That's so? Yeah, way better than Gash. He always gets bored and wants to wrestle. I can imagine how that goes. Yep, I always win, 'cause he don't play dirty. Of course. Speaking of playing dirty, he gestures down to the raging bulge that I'm overburdened with. Fuck, I'm sorry, it's been getting like that around bedtime. Yeah, I've been smelling it. Why ain't you been taking care of it? You're gonna end up with blue balls at this rate. That's a real thing, right? Tav did tell me to take care of this body. Not that I can do anything about it now. Well, want me to take care of it for you? I feel weird about using somebody else's body to, get off. Sorry, I don't think that it's a good idea. No biggie. Besides, isn't there someone that you forgot to ask? God? Gash. Oh, right. Might be kind of weird for him to be getting strange right now, huh? Yeah, part of me worries that he might be, watching and listening, trapped in a waking nightmare but unable to scream. Yeah, that. It reminds me of a guy Opa treated back when he was doing the traveler healer thing. Ate the wrong kind of scorpion or something, and it was locked in his own body, unable to move for years and years until Opa came along. His family had him leaned up on a rack, staring at a wall while they came by to force porridge down his gullet twice a day. Fixed his body, but his mind was gone. He'd just scream and shake until we left. Wonder how he's doing nowadays. Damn. Now I'm hungry. Want some midnight mushrooms? You know what? I'm good. Eventually, slumber does claim me, in a fashion. A fitful rest, more dreams, even the good ones hurt. They're just showing me the happiness that I've ruined. I drift in and out. Stinky's snoring echoes into a full chorus section thanks to the cave's stellar acoustics. At least he's warm. But his proximity brings with it his smell, every breath of which tortures my neglected libido. Over and over I wake to the incessant throbbing of my alarm, only to drift off again. In the aperture between delirium and dreams, I start to notice a tickling sensation. It slowly climbs my body, agonizing in its languid pace. Bleary eyes drift open. I slowly see it come into view as it begins to mount my stomach and travel higher. 8 hairy legs. 8 beady eyes. Sleep paralysis hits different when you're paralyzed. I think better of opening my mouth. It's too warm and inviting. I whisper through gritted teeth. Stinky! The spider treads closer. It makes direct eye contact and then takes another step, a power move. Stinky! It crawls over my chest, curling its mandibles as they brush against my chin. I steel myself for its embrace. Oh shit, free spider! Only for Stinky to snatch the little bugger and gobble it up in one bite. I gash and cover my maw in horror. He swallows hard and sighs in snack bliss. Then he looks and sees the look of absolute displeasure on my face. Ooh, sorry. Were you gonna eat that? Ugh, that poor thing. Such a cute spider. I wanted to pet it. He pauses and looks down at my paws, perplexed. I follow his gaze, then realize. I can move? I can move. Tav? I scramble to my feet as fast as I can. Too fast. I stumble. Everything is so stiff. I haven't moved a muscle for the better part of a day. But with a little more tries and Stinky's shoulder to lean on, I make it to the mouth of the cave. I can feel the leash growing slack. The moment that I see him, he impacts me like a punch to the gut, clinging around my waist and sobbing into my chest. Don't you leave me like that, ever again. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. No, you're not. I am. I should have seen signs of the tangle ahead. Instead, I was lashing out. His gaze drifts over to where Scar has Stinky pressed into a similar, smothering embrace. The whole time I thought he didn't care. Stinky squeezes his old man back tight, trying not to cry. Scar does it for him. I love you too, Dad. Well, damn, let's not get too sentimental. He's having difficulty maintaining emotional distance with the amount of slime escaping his face. Says the guy's still wearing that ring after all these years? Tav looks back up at me, sniffing curiously. A blush overtakes him as he recognizes the scent of my morning. You should, maybe take care of that. Sorry, I didn't realize that you could, Everyone can. Well, there will be plenty of time for Gash to do it himself when he's back. Yeah, look. Maybe he's having trouble putting it all together. It wouldn't be so bad if, you both found a way to stay. Yeah, not bad at all. It's a nice thought. But somehow I doubt that it'll be that easy. We're going to have to earn our happy ending. Oh, there's more. Scar reflexively whirls into a low stance and sizes up the enemy. Oh, sick! You brought the stretcher! I don't really need it now, though. Sorry. After some brief introductions, Cilantro guides us deeper into the cave. Apparently through the other side is the safest way to reach the edge of the Wombwood without running into them. Keep left through this passage. Stinky frames his fingers to remind himself which one is left. Once you hit the other side, you're through the worst of it, practically on the border. Tav updates some maps in the journal by mushroom light. It's almost worth taking the detour down here for a shortcut like that. Maybe not the direct route, though. Fair. It did take us all night to get down here safely. You haven't slept? I can handle it. Kid here is a real trooper, whipped up a plan the moment that things went south. Good thing you found us so fast. Just a matter of following the leash. For once, I'm thankful for it. Wait, never mind. Well, best of luck on your journey. I should get back home before they wake up. Don't want them to think that I've abandoned them. We wave our farewells, but Stinky escalates his to a nice bone-crushing hug goodbye. He looks like he needed that. After he's gone, we keep going along the passage that he sets us on. I can't help but voice what's been gnawing at me. We should, help him, right? Oh, believe me, we've tried. But you can't feed a maw until it opens up. Or else we're just intruding where we're not wanted. And then he'll feel even worse for letting us down when things don't work out, huh? Yeah, from our perspective, it sure looks like one big burden for him. But from his, who can say? He wouldn't do this if he didn't still love them. Talking about them wet blankets? Weep wallows. Them's the ones. What's their deal anyway? An odd thing to ask considering that he was the one explaining the very same thing to me last night. Tav explains in detail before hustling a bit to catch up with Scar and talk strategy for the road ahead. I hang back a bit to sate my curiosity with Stinky. Why'd you ask him about things that you already knew? 'Cause he likes explaining stuff, always cheers him up. Like, you ever make believe that you're teaching stuff to someone? Makes you feel more confident about it. I guess it does. We catch up to the others before long. So what's the plan if we run into the militia? Imperial dogs are easy to kill. But I've made the big guy a promise not to. So we do everything that we can not to get caught in the first place. But if that don't work out, stay put. They'll catch a runner for sure. Then, well, just follow my lead. Up ahead, a golden light pours in through a crack in the cave. A long, narrow crevice that we're going to have to sidle through. Here comes that feeling again. I close my eyes and try to fight it as we move forward. But the walls are too tight. My breathing is all wrong. I freeze at the threshold as the others pass through. My stomach turns in on itself and anchors me in place. I can't do this. Come on, if my fat tits can fit, you're fine. Can't you voke it open any wider? Nah, gate's tapped. Tav looks back at me with concern. Gods, I'm such a wreck. Too big, too stupid, just... Hey, you're going to be okay. He takes my paw and squeezes it, standing with me and taking deep breaths to set an example. We'll do it together. He fishes through his bag and places something in my paws. It's... Take this. It's easier to be brave, if you have someone else to protect. He's... right. I can do this. I have to do this. For him. The force springs forth with aplomb as we emerge. I can breathe again. We actually did it. The worst is behind us. Right? End of chapter 3. More to come soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Honestly, I don't remember when chapter 2 came out. It was a really long time ago. But yeah. So it was nice seeing the Gnolls again. I had forgotten how I kind of like the design of Tav because he basically looks like my persona if he had like brown hair instead of green. And I liked the Scar's design. Kind of looked, it was kind of cool. It's like the hybrid mix of a like reptile with Gnoll. I don't remember if there's any other like hybrid looking Gnolls. But yeah, it is kind of sad like when the protagonist ends up getting like the memories of Gash. Like remembering when with Gash and Tav used to be, I guess, maybe not little kids, but like when they used to live back at the slums, and Tav being like the little smarty nerd one, like wanted to be recognized for his intelligence, but like because he's a Gnoll, he was looked down upon. And I mean, he's still kind of like the little nerd. He's the one that's keeping the journal, which I think throughout the portion of the story, you can actually like pull up the journal and it'll have like all the little entries that he's writing in about like some of the characters that they're meeting and the places that they're going, I think. I'm not sure if you can check it out in the gallery, but I don't want to click through that right now. But yeah. I don't know if the story will eventually have us interacting with Cilantro again, but it does seem like an interesting sort of side story that could be looked into. But I do remember that the story of Gnoll Way Home was sort of like a retelling of a D&D campaign that the writer and I think Deathstray Bear were a part of. Deathstray Bear being the artist. So like the story is technically already written out, but I don't know if there was ever like any plans to revisit Cilantro and his predicament. I mean, because that was a really cool design. And then like what's happening to them where they're turning into basically vegetation into the trees. But yeah. Also, I'm assuming eventually we'll see some of the brood witches. I mean, because we're walking through their territory, you would think that they would like show up sooner or later. I don't know how many chapters there's going to be, but if I recall correctly, there was around 8 when like the first build of this had come out. There was like plans to be like 8, I think. I don't remember. How do I know that? Well, let's just say I'm a little nosy. And I do that so that I can edit. Please don't remove the script file, please. It's not there anymore. What else? Well, yeah, I mean, it's nice to get back into Gnoll Way Home. I'm looking forward to being able to read more of it. Anywho, so what are your thoughts? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching/listening. If you would like to play Gnoll Way Home or stay up to date with what's going on with it, you can go down to the link in the description, which will have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. If you'd like to support the project, they do have a Patreon, I think. I think that they do have some form of support, but I'll have to check because, again, it feels like it's been a year since the last time that I've read an update. So, if they have any form of support, that will be linked down in the description, and hopefully they update more frequently now. And yeah. So also, if you would like to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. It gives you earlier access to these videos as they're being, scheduled. So like you go, hey, like your videos, bunny. And I go, hey, thank you. Scheduled videos, you get to watch them earlier. So yeah. Also, in case you can't do that, there is Ko-fi. I do have a Ko-fi. You could, donate through there. And any form of support is appreciated, like, subscribe. Also, there's like the YouTube, their own little version of Super Chat. So like you can actually leave a comment, but with like money attached to it. So like if you're feeling even more generous, but you don't want to do the channel memberships or whatever, you could do that too. Also, I have a throne, but yeah. Anyway, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.